Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset. And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing why Maria is the best dev, hands down, on Pulsechain, in my opinion. I'm going to be looking at it in the context of PTP and other meme coins, and why the Atropa ecosystem is actually the best ecosystem on Pulsechain, and why our meme scene is better than any meme scene on any chain. So, with that, let's actually get into the episode. So here we go. So first of all, let's have a look at PTP. What happened here? This is a big shame. So apparently there was guys that had a huge amount of supply and they were selling, and then the devs ended up pulling the liquidity. I'm not sure why there's still 55k liquidity. Maybe there was some backlash, so they re-entered the liquidity. But in any case, this is a massive shame, to be honest. I was actually considering looking into this. It was a cool meme. It had a lot of things to like about it. It seemed like it united the community, and people naturally are going to be suspicious, which is a real shame. So one of the things that's really interesting about, one of the things that's really interested about it, I got Stu on my mind. I will be doing an interview with Stu tomorrow, by the way, folks. So let's have a look. So PTP. So PTP, it does have some bonding on Pulsechain. It looks like it's got quite a lot of bonding on Pulsechain, which is really good, but not a lot, to be honest. And this is something that I really want to emphasize. So this is what separates Maria and the Atropa ecosystem from everything else. So we'll see how this actually recovers. I don't think it can. I think it's probably going to lose the faith of the community, but we'll actually see what happens. And full caveat, things like this have actually happened in the Atropa ecosystem. But in the chat log, Maria has actually come out and said why that actually happened. So, for example, CIA, it happened in CIA. And basically, Maria sent all the supply to somebody, and that person ended up dumping the supply because they realized they had all these tokens. But they didn't realize how it was going to affect the price. So they really tried to recover the project after that. So these are the things that actually happen. But everything also in the Atropa ecosystem is actually a bit of an experiment as well, which is really quite interesting. But this is what separates Maria from everybody else. So let's have a look at this. Man, it's been how many months? So Pulsechain's been out for what, 9 months? Okay, so there's nearly 100 contracts there, probably, and here's some more. Okay, so probably about 100 contracts there. So that is the sign of a dev that is working their ass off. That's not the sign of a dev that puts up a website very quickly, creates a Telegram, creates a Twitter, and says, oh, here, buy this coin, and then after a month just rugs it. Like, if Maria wanted to rug, if Maria wanted to extract liquidity, in which case, by the way, Maria is a millionaire. We already have verified this on the blockchain. Sorry, Maria, for doxing you, but people have verified these things. Why wouldn't Maria rug by now? Really have a think about that. Why would Maria go through all this work just to eventually extract liquidity out of the ecosystem? Like people who have that mindset, generally it comes from a fear and a lacking mind, and also probably a greedy mind, because their perspective is that everybody has their perspective, which is not necessarily the case. When somebody has a lot of money, they want to actually create an impact on the world. So my mentor that I was speaking to yesterday, he hasn't told me his net worth, but he's got a lot of businesses, and I'd say he's probably, let's say tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions. He's not interested in money. He's really not interested in it anymore. And I see that same phenomena with a lot of wealthy people that actually want to make an impact on the world. What can my impact on the world actually be? And Maria is probably doing the same. How can I actually influence cryptocurrency through this system, through this design that I've actually come up with? So that's just my perspective. And maybe I'm naive. Maybe it is going to be a big rug pull and I was wrong, and I'll pie on my face. I'll be wrong. But my heart tells me that this is a genius dev and this is a genius ecosystem. So again, look at the work that's actually been done here. This is not the kind of overnight stuff that a rug puller is going to do. So Sharia law as well. So I had to put this here. Allahu Akbar. So shout out to those who it's actually Ramadan. So again, Ramadan, shout out to my Muslim brotherhood, shout out to my Muslim friends and any Muslim viewers that I have. I've actually been doing a 10-day fast and I will be breaking it straight after this stream. And I must admit, I've only been having water, and until today, everything was smooth and easy, and I loved it. I had so much energy, I was so productive. But now it's like, the 10 days are over, and that idea of food coming up has been the biggest distraction in this whole day, as a matter of fact. So it's like, man, food is such a burden, but it's something to be enjoyed and something to be grateful for. We can be grateful to the universe and grateful to God that we actually do have food and we're actually given life. So again, Allahu Akbar. So shout out to my Muslim brothers, but also shout out to the Christians, any Jews that are watching, any Buddhists, anyone. I love you all. So the Atropa ecosystem, let's actually take a look at this. One of the things from the chat log that I covered many, many months ago. So in the chat log, the whole design intention of the Atropa ecosystem was to design a meme fault bottom floor. So what are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? Let's go through every single, we'll go through the main top token. So these are the top tokens. So this is in a way cherry picked. So I do want to be clear that not all of these tokens are going to have a chart like this. So I want to be clear about that. The 666 tokens in particular, they're not supported by the Atropa devs. So they're just things where the market can have a play with. So all of these tokens here, fault bottom floor, bottom, new bottom created by liquidity and bonding with other tokens. Potentially new bottom here. This could be the new bottom. I have no idea. This could be the new bottom. We could just be about to go parabolic. Same thing with PDI stablecoin. We see the same thing. We had a bottom here, teddy bear. So this is when I started looking at Atropa ecosystem, or probably around about here. Let's have a look at the date. So probably around about here, my friends are telling me, buy. It's like, no. And then finally I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to buy. And then I bought, and it was essentially the top, but I scaled in. So I was always going to do 3 buys. So I bought here, and I think I bought maybe down here. And then this was the bottom. So I accumulated more down here as well. So I actually got the very, very bottom here just before the Moon King appearance on Round Nooner. So we're seeing the same kinds of patterns, the same kind of charts, and there's a very specific reason for that. This one is a bit different, but nevertheless, it's created fault bottom floors. And this is the biggest fear in the meme coin scene, is when it's dropping, it could keep dropping. And if it keeps dropping, then everybody sells out and it just causes the price to capitulate. So this is the biggest fear, and this ecosystem is trying to eliminate that fear by creating fault bottom floors, by bonding it with tokens and carrying it up. And so this is a bit different because it will be bonded with different tokens. It will have different ratios. So there are differences. BFF, this is another big play. So BFF is, if you love teddy bear, you should certainly get yourself some BFF. Our first target is 8K. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing, what are we seeing here? We're seeing another fault bottom floor. It could keep dropping down, but do you think it's going to drop down to here? I don't think so. And then I'll get to TRSI in just a moment. This is Teddy Bear 9. So this is a very interesting one. So this one you can actually conjure by utilizing, I think it's about 4 or 5 different tokens. It's very, very difficult to get. So I've actually been slowly accumulating this because it's $33,862. This is Mantissa. So this is one that apparently is a big play, again, according to Steadypup. And then we have down, and again, legal, same thing. Look at legal, all the way up, all the way down, fault bottom floor. Then what actually happened here? Then it, through its liquidity bonding, it's slowly been dragging up. There's not a lot of people that will be buying this necessarily. This is actually getting pulled up by so these are actually getting pulled up by the different pools that it's bonded with. So this is the power of the liquidity bonding. So with legal, for example, it might be bonded with 10, 20, 30 different kinds of tokens. And in between those different tokens, the arbitrage bots are doing buys and sells between those pairs. So for example, legal to, let's say, TRSI and Atropa and PDI, and the price discrepancies between Atropa and PDI and TRSI is the biggest here in Atropa. And then so the best value for the legal is here. So then it's going to create that gap. And then it just keeps working its magic like this, and it keeps working through the arbitrage bot. So it's this system that's constantly running without anyone actually even buying. And what it's doing is it's slowly dragging it up. So if it's pulled with something that is very, very valuable, then it's also pulling up that chart with it. So that's the genius of the Atropa ecosystem, and that is across the board. So we're seeing that with legal, and then now I'm going to use TRSI again as an example. I did this in the video the other day, but I want to emphasize this point. TRSI is dead to the world here. Honestly, dead to the world. It looks like, wow, any other meme coin, it's gone, it's done, it's gone below. It's like it's had its massive wick. Look at that, bang, and then all the way down here. But what has it done? It slowly started to work up. Now, I've been experimenting on base chain. I'm getting sick and tired of it, I must admit. It's very tiring because it's so filthy, degenerate garbage. And I'm a civilized degenerate. So I like things to be like this, where I'm going to invest in something, but it's going to have a chance. These, man, it's like, you kind of spend all day watching the charts, and it's getting boring. I've 2.5x my bag, which is good. I'll end up pulling that over to Pulsechain, but it's getting boring. Look at this. This is dead. This is dead. This is dead. This doesn't even have any trade volume anymore, which means it's dead, 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 dead. So these are all charts. Dead. Another dead one. This is dead, 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 another dead one. They're all dead. I mean, these could come back, but honestly, there's so many new ones that are being created. And what's this Bliff? Let's have a look at Bliff. So if I look at Bliff, where are you, Bliff? What's Bliff bonded with? Nothing. Bliff is bonded with absolutely nothing. Bliff is bonded with Ethereum. Same thing here. POM was like, oh, great, Pepe on Mars. It was so cool. It had a sick website. Dead. Blubby again. It was like, yeah, sick website. Look at it. Absolutely freaking dead. I'm so disappointed. I did a video on this. Oh, this could be a potential 100x. And the reason why it's so difficult to actually identify is because these market caps are keys. So once it gets to about the million market cap, they can die. And there's a chance that by pure luck, if a VC or big money is there, then it can actually shoot up. But if there's no VC or big money, it can die and it's dead. So, and then once it's dying, what actually happens? People here. So I entered a buy here. So I entered it here because I was like, all right, well, if I'm making this video on 100x, I should have like the conviction to actually buy. So I bought here, and then, yeah, oh no, here I bought here where my line is, and then died, dead, gone. See you later. Waste of money. Another one. It just runs up to probably the same thing. This one, maybe this one was 250K, just utter garbage. So this is what people actually, I mean, not even, man. What's this? Oh, okay. So this was another one that went up to 1 million. So this is actually part of my take profit strategy on base. If it gets to around 1 million, I take some off the table, because if it keeps running, brilliant. If it doesn't, at least I've got some profit off the table. So completely dead. And how does this happen? When we see these kinds of price floors, there's no faith in the market, because dead. All those things are dead. So we see these things here, and you buy, and it goes up, and then it starts to come down again. And then people with their weak hands, they just sell and they capitulate and they go to the next one because there's hundreds. Do you see that here? I don't see it here. What looks more attractive to you? If you're not into trading, and I do have a bit of I do enjoy a little bit of trading, not too much. Like I said, I've been doing it for the last 5 days since a weekend, and I'm getting sick and tired of it. You got to really watch and pay attention, and a lot of it's really just luck. And I'm up, and I've created a system and a process, but it's like I can't be bothered. It's wasting so much time, and I'd rather devote that time to doing more productive things. So, but I have learned a lot that I actually am able to apply to the Atropa and the Pulsechain ecosystem. That's why I wanted to do it as well. And so again, if you look at TRSI, what would you prefer? Would you prefer something where you can just buy it and you can just leave it and you can just let it go steady up? I mean, look at Atropa. It's TSFI. It's TRSI. Sorry, this is TRSI. It's 2.5x off the bottom. So, and if you look at it to its all-time high, it's a 5x, 6.5x. So it's 3.5x from the bottom. Or 3x from the bottom. All right. So, and I would predict that that's going to keep continuing to go up in the same manner as these. So if the ecosystem continues to grow, if these continue to grow, these liquidity pools will just continue to drag all these tokens up. These ones are different because of the ratios of the liquidity pools between Atropa and TSFI, for example. So if I like TSFI to Atropa is actually a really good, it's a really good, I've got it here, TSFI to Atropa. So this is actually something where it's really, really good play. So I've done a little dabble, but if you want to do a ratio play here, Somi, where are you? Hope you're watching here, my boy. So from here to here, oh shit! Oh, that's a 10x. So that's a 10x. You could swap your Atropa for TSFI, and you could get a 10x, man. And it's looking like that's a pretty good bottom, but we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with Atropa. We don't know how far Atropa is going to run. But that's where I did a little swap. So if it comes up to the all-time highs, I get a 3x. Man, a 10x. That the differences between them, just a few, like, wow. All right, I'm gonna have to swap some more Atropa for that because that's ridiculous. That's too good to deny. So if you put all this into comparison and you study the network, I've done so many videos of this. There's so many intelligent people. PLS Pup, Steadypup, a pup with a steady nature has created PLS Pup. And he actually created these liquidity bonding maps. And this whole idea is to show that there's all these different pathways into all the different tokens. And this whole web actually carries it up. And this is the real beauty of the Atropa ecosystem. So you have the Atropa token, and then you have it all centered around Mantissa, Teddy Bear, and Qingdao. And so Mantissa, only Steadypup brought this to my attention that this is potentially going to be a big play. Maria wanted to emphasize this. Teddy Bear is the easiest into the ecosystem, and that's the one that's attracting the most eyeballs outside of the ecosystem, thanks to the works of Moon King, going on to Ran Nuna, really spreading that. And I know from my own channel, the Teddy Bear videos are the ones that have the most views. The how to buy and what actually Teddy Bear is, because people actually are coming into the ecosystem for that. So shout out to those people who are actually putting that work and effort into actually making this ecosystem phenomenal. And the beauty of this now with Teddy Bear, with all these pools that it's connected to, is hopefully once these people are in Teddy Bear, they can start to get attracted to the Atropa ecosystem and they can stay and they can start to play the ratios between all these different tokens, because the whole narrative of this is the P stable. So we have PUSD here, the Atropa with PDI, PUSDC. So there's so many things going on. So it really gives me honestly the belief that the Atropa ecosystem is the best on Pulsechain. Maria is the best dev on Pulsechain, and our meme scene is much better than any meme scene on any single chain, simply because of that liquidity bonding. If you have a look at the liquidity bonding and how it's actually working, it's brilliant. Yes, there are tokens that have rugged within the Atropa ecosystem. Yes, you can cherry pick circumstances. Like I know Too Spooky loves to stir the pot. So I know, like, for example, Teddy Bear was being sold for EHEX, and the Atropa boys were like, awesome, EHEX can be saved now. But those guys are looking at it as an opportunity as like, oh, Atropa's rugging, the Atropa dev is rugging on the people. And it's like, well, not really, because if you look at Teddy Bear, it's still going strong. The community's still going strong. And I like to look at the big picture. I don't look at the individual circumstances. It's like, governments, government's probably a bad example, but if you're a ruler, if you're a leader, you have to make tough decisions. You have to make tough decisions for the benefit of the overall goal. You have to make those decisions. So I think there's going to be situations where you can cherry pick it and you can look at it with a magnifying glass and say, oh, look what happened here. But I think there's going to be more situations where the pros outweigh the cons, and the overall goal is what we're actually aiming for here. We're not aiming for those little insignificant things that happen on the way. They're pointless. They're irrelevant. I've picked out Elon Musk's biography because, in terms of leadership, in terms of doing this guy, the sacrifices he's gone through for his company, the hardships he's gone through, but he's a tough leader. He doesn't have a very good reputation as a leader with some people, but he has a very good reputation with others. So it's really just a matter of perspective. But SpaceX and Tesla are absolute GOAT companies. So I picked this quote here. Around the time of this event, Tesla made its debut in the New York Times. So this is actually about his development through Tesla via a mini profile on the company. Elbahard vowed optimistically to begin shipments of the Roadster in the middle of 2007 instead of early 2006 as once planned, and laid out Tesla's strategy of starting with a high-priced, low-volume product and moving down to more affordable products over time as underlying technology and manufacturing capabilities advanced. Musk and Elbahard were big believers in this strategy, having seen it play out with a number of electronic devices, cell phones, refrigerators, color TVs. They didn't start off by making a low-end product for masses, Elbahard told the paper. They were relatively expensive for people who could afford it. So I wanted to finish on that story because that's also a narrative that I'm seeing play out in this. So again, in the early days of the chat log, Maria was talking about wanting to attract people with $20 bets, with just pocket money, $20 that they can put into this ecosystem. So what are we actually seeing here? Here we're seeing like the core. This is the Roadster, the Atropa, PTP. These are the roadsters of the ecosystem. At the moment, you could consider them to be expensive. Well, not expensive, but eventually they're going to be expensive. But that's what's actually going to attract people into the ecosystem, the Roadster. Atropa is the Roadster of the ecosystem. Then, once people are actually attracted to the ecosystem and they're going to be curious about it, you already saw she's made well over 100 tokens. There's going to be continuous tokens being created in this ecosystem where anyone is going to have an opportunity to be able to participate. Anyone can look at these charts, get in at a TRSI level where it's bottom, put a $20 in, and then the liquidity bonding is going to carry it up. I, with my experience now on base chain, would much rather that. My confidence in actually how I'm going to start buying Atropa tokens has really gone through the roof based on what I've seen on base chain. It is absolute trash garbage. It lasts for less than a day, if you're lucky, just a few hours. And I don't want that, man. I don't want to be staring at charts all day. I want to look at opportunities. I want to keep my eye on the market. And when I see a good opportunity, I want to put my $20 in there. And then I want to walk away. And then in a few years' time, or a few months, few years, whatever it's going to be up. This is the beauty of the Atropa ecosystem. It's a financial system. It's like an ETF. It's like an ETF. It's brilliant. It's like an S&P 500. It is brilliant. It's the best ecosystem on the chain. I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to stand by that comment. I'm going to stand by that conviction because I do believe it is the best. I do believe it's going to be. It's the contrarian play within the contrarian ecosystem. Barely anybody's talking about it. And I think it's the absolute GOAT ecosystem on the chain. And I really want people to open their eyes up to see how damn good it is. The longer that you leave it, no problem. It just means you're going to make more profits later because you'll be able to get into the new tokens later. But it is the GOAT ecosystem on the GOAT chain. Pulsechain is going to run last. I pray to Allah, Buddha, God, Pulsechain runs last. And then all the wave of money comes into Pulsechain. I saw Altcoin Daily saying Pulsechain is going to do 1000x. Please, I want the hordes to come. I want them to see what's actually on Pulsechain. I want them to see the Atropa ecosystem. I want them to see the magic of PTP. Man, it's the best. It's the best chain. It's the best ecosystem. Maria is the best dev. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Take care. Oh, now I'm going to go enjoy my very first meal in 10 days.